I've lived in the center of a small country town in a shitty apartment building with my mother. As cliche as it sounds, it's true. Now, scary stories and ghost fanatics always piqued my interest. But I've never thought twice about a bump in the night or a tapping at the window. That was until 3 weeks ago. I'll sleep around 11 p.m. and wake up a few times throughout the night. My bedroom was on the second floor, and because the apartment was so cheap and dingy, every time you stepped, there'd be a long creak along with it. Now, I'm a light sleeper, so every single small sound wakes me up, but I'd always fall asleep a few seconds after. This particular thing that woke me up, though, was the sound of creaking footsteps walking across the floorboards towards my room. I was in a position which I was facing away from my doorway and instead facing my drywall next to my bed. Immediately, I was pissed that Mom would be up in the middle of the night. What time was it anyway? I was usually easily irritable, seeing as I always felt tired. I was such a light sleeper that I always felt like I'd barely slept a wink. The fact that I was being woken up by someone during my precious sleep egged me on to no end. I felt the urge to snap at her, but I decided against it. She was probably as tired as I was, and was most likely just going to the toilet. Her footsteps stopped outside my room, and I sighed in frustration. To my surprise, I heard the door handle turn, and the door slightly creaked open. At the time, I scared my mother with a suicide attempt, so it wasn't uncommon for her to check on me before she went to sleep and when she woke up. I figured she was having late-night thoughts or something, and she wanted to just check in on me. Oddly enough, I pretended to sleep like I usually do when she did this. I don't know why, but I figured it'd be awkward if my eyes flung open when my mother kissed me on the cheek. She'd usually just lightly touch my foot and whisper to me good night before heading off to bed herself. But she didn't step foot in my room. She stayed at the doorway, her breathing slightly ragged. I was confused and mostly annoyed, but kept my eyes shut and my back to her. It must have been a good minute or two before she turned and made her way down the stairs, which were just outside my room. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I simply shrugged it off, turned over, and fell back asleep. That was until the next morning, when I woke to an incoming call from my mom. I tiredly reached over to my bedside table and put the phone to my ear. Maybe she had gone out to the store and needed to ask me something. There'd been no reason to call while we were in the same house. "Hello?" My voice croaked with the first word of the day leaving my lips. "Hi, darling. Sorry for not coming home last night. I got a bit carried away with the alcohol," she added with a laugh. My heart dropped. "What?" "I said I got a bit carried away." No, before that. "Sorry for not coming home last night," she said, a bit confused. My eyes never left the ajar door of my room, evidence that someone, or something, had opened it last night. "Is everything all right, sweetie?" Deciding not to worry her, I reassured her that everything was okay and hung up. I had completely forgotten that I was home alone. Now, nothing's happened since then, but I've been scared shitless and been sleeping with lights on every night since. I just hope that whatever it was doesn't come back. And if it does, I just hope it doesn't catch me awake. I spoke to my mother about it, and she got freaked out, thinking it was a burglar. We checked for hours and found nothing stolen, nothing out of place. Deep down, I had a gut feeling it was something paranormal. Looking back on it now, I'm glad I pretended to be asleep. God knows what it would have done if it knew that I was awake.